Hi,
Hey, morning.
morning. It's actually afternoon right here,
Oh,
but you you get the idea.
yeah.
Well,
So
uh, let me share. Oh, maybe you want to share yours.
I want to share mine because
Okay.
so what I wanted to show you is um, over on Gradle, I ran um, the database scripts, and I could either say build new um, test config DB, or I could have, if I knew I'd already run like compare upgraded to new config DB. So what I have is I basically got this build created config and then my username, and it's local and it's got the stuff in it. So what I did was um, over here I've got like tenant add, and so I'd run this to add a tenant, um, and if I look at this, um, this is what I've got for the parameters, right? So it's pointing to localhost, and then it's got the tenant add, and it's just got some junk. So it's not a real tenant, but it does add an entry in there. And then I knew I needed a data source, so I have my ETL or my ETL tenant add. And so if you look at this, likewise, whoops, not that. Um, Likewise, it's going to localhost, and then it just adds in sort of a dummy tenant item. And I failed a couple times, and so when I went to the one that we're really interested in is this, and then I added a ETL data source add, and so that's in there, and so we could actually run this one. Um, and you'll notice that this one just is a list, not putting in any parameters. So it's going to list all the ones that I have. And so when this thing runs, you'll see that it's in there as 3 because I messed up on the first 2. And it's got a driver name in there, but it shows what's in there. So then when I want to duplicate the problem, so it's this data source update. I'll run that. Let's look at the deals. I've got this, and we can actually set this to something else. It's going to localhost, and it's going to update all these things. I don't need all these, but the one that I'm interested in right now is driver class name because it was wrong. So I'm going to run this. It's going to do its thing, and you can see that this got updated to false for the driver class name. And hang on just a second. I've got to take a quick call, but I'll be
Sure.
right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back on this. Okay, I'm back. Let me go back. Sorry for that interruption. So we
No
saw that
problem.
we saw that this was false, and then we said, okay, right here on, hey, this is the loser thing, right? That area. So we're going to delete it, and then go, okay, we're going to try this again. I'm going to try update, not realizing that it's going to fail because I've already tried this. And then it comes up, and it goes, oh, loser, such a loser. And then we go, what's wrong with this? And we look at what it's doing, and we see job description, version, driver class name. Oh, do you see what the problem is here?
Actually, actually, ah, it's not enclosed in
Yep,
double quotes,
single quotes.
single quotes.
So I
Sorry.
just added the single quotes right here on each side, and now I'm going to try it again. So I'm going to say run. So if I didn't actually test this, I would have just gone and gotten rid of the two Boolean. And then now we see that it's, this, and we can actually, well, let's try this again. Let's get rid of all these X's. And, oh, shoot. So we'll call it XCNet. This thing doesn't really edit very well. And then we should see that this updates it, and it calls it XCNet.sourceForward. So we feel confident, right? But so
Yes, yes, yes.
that's what I wanted to show you is the process I go through for testing this. And I find it really easy to run from here. I go in, and if I need a new one of these, I say edit configurations. I either create a new one, or if it's very much like this one, then I'd say, hey, copy it, make a new copy, give it a new name, edit the script parameters. On this particular one, I like to say show this page so that when it runs, it always brings up this parameter page. If you unclick this, it just runs. But then I like to go in and look at my parameters, edit them. If I because I'm running the commands here, so I don't have to do the Java jar stuff myself. Plus, I can pre-set up like the server. And what I may want to do is, you'll notice this one is pointing to a different server. So this is out on my vCloud, the public IP or the external IP address. And so I can use the admin tool here for any of my config databases that I've got around.
I'm sorry. How does the admin tool recognizes if I run the command from a terminal and point to the external IP address? How does it recognize the code has changed? It's automatically recognizes.
Well, this is all within IntelliJ, so the first thing that it does in a run debug configuration is compile your code, and then it runs it, right? So any changes I make get picked up when I run. If you're going to run it from the command line, you'd have to do a build first, and then pick up your newly built jar and use that. So it would probably be in your so this is the admin tool. It would probably be up here in your build directory, right? So if you do a full build, that's where the jar is going to be.
Okay. It's clear, more clear now.
But I don't tend to do that. Now, if I was all done and I wanted to test this actually running in my vCloud environment, I would, I'd build this. And then if I didn't want to do the whole ISO thing, what I'd do is I'd grab this jar file and stick it up there in like the temp directory and run that one there. So likewise, if I'm kind of shifting gears, but let's say I rebuilt DAS and I have a DAS machine in my vCloud environment, all I really need, I know that all I need is this DAS jar file. So sometimes I'll build it here, and if I want to test it in my environment versus waiting for the build server to build, get an ISO, copy it over there, reinstall it. If I don't want to do that, I know that the only thing that changed is this jar file. So I will actually just, push this in here, and so I use an app on my Mac, and there's similar ones. It's basically an SFTP app. This one's called Yummy, but this allows me to connect using SFTP to a particular box, and then we'll just see if this connects. Well, this one didn't, but on the right-hand side, this is just like that utility we used on the tools machine, the
Like a file transfer utility.
Yeah, yeah. So
On the right, you should see the destination.
Yeah, it's over here on the right. I'd see the destination over here. I'd go into, like we were talking about, DAS. So I'd go into DAS. I'd go into build. It's gonna leave. Okay, so I'd go into build, and I'd grab that, and then I'd copy it to where I wanted it on the destination machine, and then I'd restart my DAS service. So as a developer, I do tricks like that, right, to kind of speed up my building here, and then I want my current code out there. So I do have to keep track of what my VApp environment's like, and that's why I may end up with sort of 2 VApp environments, or we ensure that QA always has the latest code in a VApp environment, and that's where we can test and verify bugs and things like that in the current code. And then in our VApp environment, we can make changes, push our code out to our VApp, and then verify that we fixed the change. And so those are kind of some of the processes. But like for this, I typically run the admin tool right from here. And and I just wanted to show you that sort of process that I use. And so as you can tell, I've got a lot of different configurations, especially for these, every one of these commands for the admin tool. And that's just how I run it. I've got some others for running like the service API and the appliance under Jetty that I can debug into. And so that runs local on my box. I can also use, do a full build, install into my Vagrant, which we kind of talked about before. And then what I would do is I would basically attach the debugger here to a running instance that's on my Vagrant box. So it looks like it's local, but it's actually running in that VBox in Vagrant. So
I'm sorry, just to clarify, Vagrant is similar to vCloud, just run. I really don't know.
So Vagrant isn't a thing that is running per se. It's more of a tool that allows you to define and quickly create virtual boxes. So just to cover this again, let me move this up out of the way. So I'm on a Vagrant box here, but just let me exit. And so I think this box is running already, and so that's why you need vCloud or VirtualBox. I think you can use other hypervisors as well, but we use so this one, this analytics main Postgres, and then this is the one that's running. So we're looking at this. Let's just get this thing over here. So it's actually up and running. So I'm back on my box. If I want to get into Vagrant or into that box, the easiest way is just Vagrant SSH, and it will sign me into that. I hope. Yeah, so there I am. You can do, it automatically mounts the /vagrant build or /vagrant, which is the top of my tree in there, so that I can get to my build distribution. So this is like if I do a build over here in IntelliJ, all these files change. And so that's mounted into the file system. And so Vagrant is the tool that creates this box, this VBox, instantiates it, runs some scripts at the beginning, and kind of gets it all set up. So it's a really easy way to automate the creation of these virtual boxes. That's really what Vagrant is. It allows you to create them, and you can have different targets. So if I go here and I exit out of this, and then I say vagrant destroy, which is one of my favorite commands. And so this tears it down, and it'll ask me if I want to do that. I say yes. We should see it disappear over here on the other side. Boop, gone. So now I say vagrant up. Because that other one, it's like I had installed the VA server, and so now I want a clean one. I want one that's brand new that I can do this. So it's already, the first time you run it, it takes a while to download that base CentOS 6.6 box. And that's one that I had set up, made it a clean image, what I wanted, and then I actually exported it as a VHD, right? And so now you see it's creating this box over here on the left, the analytics main base, and it's got some sort of number tied with it. It's bringing it up. It's adding the SSH keys. It's mapping these ports, and so I believe one of these ports, well, not on this one, but I had to remap the Postgres port so they wouldn't conflict with the real Postgres that I have running versus the one that's in my Postgres box. So that Postgres is running on a different box. So it's adding, guest additions and all. So it's an easy way to set up virtual boxes. At least this is how I use it. I don't know how the reporting team uses it. Hopefully it would be something similar, but the concept is the same. The purpose of Vagrant is to really be able to configure different boxes and things, and then have slick commands to basically just bring them up, SSH into them, destroy them. So it really kind of automates that whole process. So because you can think about how would you do this otherwise. You'd have to go into the hypervisor and or keep a snapshot, always use the same one. It's just a way to quickly build up and destroy the virtual boxes for testing. And you can define any number of different ones that do different things. So that's the purpose of Vagrant.
Great. I think I get the idea.
Okay. And this one's taken a little longer because I've told it to load these mirrors and stuff, and for some reason one of them takes a little while to do. And if I was really worried about it, I would, but it doesn't take too long. But otherwise I might go in and, so there, and then, now I can SSH into it or whatever I want. So you can do a Vagrant halt on this. And over here it says it's running. So there's a whole bunch of different Vagrant commands, and that's really the purpose of Vagrant, is just give you nice commands. So now it's stopped and powered off. And I don't even really need to see that one up, but that's the quick one on Vagrant.
So, but I still have one problem. I cannot see that list box you have to show all the Groovy code for the admin tool. How do you show that list box? The right, the right on to you, the one on your top right.
This one, or the one on the over here, the Gradle, or this one.
That one.
So you don't have a configurations box up here at the top?
No, I don't.
Well, it's this box, edit configurations.
Okay.
Like when you do this, it brings up all these configurations. I wonder if you don't have any configurations, and then that's why they don't show up. Because
probably I don't.
There's all these ones, and I've had to add, all these. But if you go and edit configurations, I wonder what view tool windows. It's not a tool window though. wonder if you go to build or run edit configurations, and then I wonder if this thing, it doesn't say it's pinned anywhere. You right click on that.
But how do I refer to that list box? How do I call it in order to look for it somewhere?
I think I would go into run and edit configuration and add a groovy configuration for you to, right? So you can go ahead and share your screen and we can try to work through that because I don't know.
Yeah, no problem. If you would be so kind, I would appreciate it. So let me share my screen. I am sharing it. It's
I'm
like
getting
this.
paid to talk to you, buddy. It's not out of kindness.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Share anonymous statics. Let me share. Okay. So that should show right here, but it does. It is not showing anything.
Well, what's that thing that says analytics main build?
Uh, Here.
No, kind of right above your tabs.
Oh,
No, no, oh, in the right above the next to your run button,
mm,
right there, just next to it, the analytics main build. What's that?
oh,
Hit that.
this one.
Yeah, so edit configurations, and then you
Oh,
that's the drop down. So here you would go plus, you'd hit the plus at the top, yeah, and then you'd say groovy, and then you give it a name like, you know, uh, admin tool. I don't know, admin tool, um, appliance add, or some whatever the command is. So because I create one of these for each appliance, and so I can copy what my
so you mean I should create each? I should create one for every Groovy command I can execute on the app on the admin tool. Is that
I do, but I only do it when I need the command. So let's say we want to list out your stuff. So it'd be admin tool, ETL config add whatever the darn thing is. Oh, I gotta take a call. I'll be right back.
yeah.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
So then in those script parameters, right,
Yep.
you'll probably want to put in, so I would click, yeah, so script parameters, you'd want to copy in, your script parameters. Yep.
Like, yeah, I think I get the idea.
So to try it without, yeah, actually we can do, um,
Well,
but you can go against um, your existing config database. You don't have to do your internal one. I was just telling you, there's nothing that prohibits you from, um,
from accessing to my vCloud.
well, yeah, from your vCloud or from accessing your local one. So
Yeah, after I do after I run a test that creates that config database and tenant
well,
database, so I
yeah, and
can.
frankly, we've already done that. So
Yeah,
a, you already have one of those
but
databases.
but 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 why why am I seeing this? Are those the databases?
Yeah, and the one that's your local is a build created config J
Okay.
Lopez. That's the config database. The one below is your tenant database.
Oh,
And
sorry.
and those Gradle targets automatically name them that way. So mine would be Crasser R.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I can do it on my local, like you
Um,
said.
and it's just an option. Like what's nice about that is you can pollute that with whatever you want, and then you
Yeah.
can just say, "Hey, build me a new one." It trashes it and builds a new one, right? So it's nice to have that local database for that kind of stuff. So I'd go
Yeah.
ahead and copy your script parameters in
Yeah.
here.
Let's do it. What? So I should have a parameter list over here. So I should go. But maybe I can. I'm too lazy.
So did you copy that already?
Yeah, actually, I wanted
So,
to do that.
so you want to copy it into your where you were with your configure. You don't want that.
No,
No, you want what you had in your text editor.
but I don't have the parameters complete, so I should
Sure, they're
go.
almost complete. This is you can add So let's just.
Oh, what I need right now, you mean?
So is
Oh,
that the one? Let me look. Data source update. Copy everything from, yeah,
because I
after
only have two
from dash
parameters.
dash server. So from dash dash server to the end is what you want.
Okay, dash dash server to
The
the end.
first thing after the jar. No, no, you want dash dash server. You want to grab everything to the end,
Mm,
to the end of the driver on the second line. Yeah. So grab that.
Okay, okay, okay. So we have done. I need it on
Did you
class
ever?
groupie.
Oh, you never added it.
Nope.
So just add that in script parameters.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good for now.
Like this or enclosed?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So what I would do though is put that ETL data source update on its own line.
Mm, okay.
Right. You're driving me nuts, buddy. Right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's the command name. So go ahead and put that on its own line.
Yeah.
No, just hit a carriage return and
I'm sorry. I think I did not understand what you
just
said.
put it on its own line. So just like you put everything else on its own line, right? Because so that, well, however you want to do it, it doesn't matter.
I'm
Just
sorry.
hit a carriage return
Okay.
or not. And so, um, so you want to call this thing as something. So you give it a name, which is one box higher, right? That's not the name box.
Uh,
So just get rid of what you have in script path. Copy
yeah.
it to the name.
I mean, tool ETL. Blah, blah, blah.
And then I would say show that.
Yeah.
I would say show this page. I would click that checkbox.
Yeah.
And then, um, say, okay. And let's try one that's just, so say, okay, so it gets in here.
Yeah.
And then go back to edit the configurations. And then click on that. And then see the little two pieces of paper next to the minus button near the top. Go ahead and copy, hit that. No, it's on the left there, the two little sheets of paper next to the red minus. At the
Red minus.
See where it's highlighted blue, and then you go up to the
Here.
yeah, that's copy configuration. So now you've got a copy. So let's recall this ETL data source list. So just change the last part, call it list. Let's open up that. Let's say list and get rid of everything else below. So just no, don't get rid of all that. From dash update, you want to change to dash list. Yeah, perfect. No. Yeah,
But
you want dash list because that's
yeah.
the command name.
Yes.
Okay, so now say okay. Let's say okay on this, and so now you've got two in there. So let's just run this. Go ahead and hit the run button. No, let's do the list.
Okay.
So we verify that this works before we.
Okay.
Now, I bet you your server IP address is wrong, right? Because that's an internal IP address.
Yeah. I should use like this IP address.
This is making sense, right? I'm not going too
Yeah.
fast.
No.
Okay,
Totally
perfect.
making sense. Right.
Okay.
I'm following. I'm following you.
Yeah, just let me know if you're not,
Yeah. No.
because I can try to explain it differently. But I think since you've gone through this quite a
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
and I know it's sometimes kind of running around, but once you get these things set up, it'll be it's like, oh, I've got all these run configurations. I'll just copy a new one. I'll add more parameters. I'll change the one that I've got. So it's 116.1.
Okay. This one.
Yeah. So now say run. Let's try it.
Cannot find a script.
Well, let's go look at edit your configuration again.
Okay.
And I will just in the meantime look at mine.
Yeah.
Just to see if there's anything odd in there. So.
Okay.
Oh, you got to set them. Okay, so you need to set the module path.
Oh. Like.
And possibly the working directory to the source main Groovy. What it looks like to me is I have my working directory set and I have my module, but I think yours will switch to that. So wherever your project is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah,
Wait,
I think
you've already
this.
got your working directory set, I think, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be main Groovy. I think you just picked Groovy.
Yeah, would be this one. So play.
Oh, and the script path might have to be set too. Try running it.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to edit it each time.
But
Okay, so
cannot
it's not
find the
that one.
script.
What I have is I have my script path set to the same source main Groovy. Oh, and then it's admin tool.groovy. So it's just like the work. It's just like
The working directory.
it's just like the working directory, but it has admin tool.groovy at the end of it.
Okay. Not .jar or something.
No, it's just admin tool.groovy. Not
Okay.
not in the working directory, in the script
Yeah,
path.
yeah, yeah. I know, I
Oh,
know.
oh, okay.
Like this.
.groovy, yeah. .groovy.
Uh, dot groovy. Okay.
Yeah, I think that looks right.
Okay.
So say okay.
So,
So just a tip: when you run it, you can change all that stuff.
but password authentication. Why? Well, maybe it
So
should
let's
be.
look at it again.
Yeah.
So just hit run. Just hit run.
Okay. Okay.
You don't have to edit this. Just hit run. And the nice thing about bringing that window up is it all comes in. So let's look at the script parameters because it actually ran the script. So
Yeah.
password.
Maybe it's because it escaped.
I don't think so. Let me look at mine before you move on.
Okay.
Um, is there anything? No. So let me come back and look at yours.
No.
Um, so hit OK on that button, and then let's just scroll through that. So what did the password? Scroll back around on to the beginning of that line in script parameters. Let's just take a no. Don't use this box. Use the. I find sometimes I have issues. It should be the same, but oh, there's a space. Username. Yeah, I think that's okay. Password. Port. That looks all correct. So what is it complaining about?
I don't know.
Can you move that whole edit configuration box up a little so I can see the error?
Okay.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why can't
Authentication.
you do a tenant service? So it's connecting. The password authentication failed for Pentaho DB. It is Pentaho DB user, right?
Yes. It is.
Have you ever connected to that thing externally? No, that should
Mm,
work.
No, no, no. Actually, like
Oh, I have.
Yeah, but actually, I did it on the install phase. You mean like SSH root?
No, I meant
No,
like from your box, have you ever connected to it?
no.
But it should allow. Oh, I wonder if can you log in? Can you where you just were in your terminal window? Let's log into that
Okay,
config box, the 116.1. Yeah,
okay.
and then I think the command after you get in here is IP tables dash dash list. Okay, so you don't have any firewall.
I shouldn't.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can add a new. So I want to make a connection. 172.27.116.1. Username is IntelliDB user. ID1. Okay. No, it connected to it. So what? Hmm. And it's so open up that the edit box on that, the script
Yeah.
parameters. So server username, password,
Maybe an extra character.
and maybe it didn't like those carriage returns. I don't know.
RH returns or something.
Make sure you. So let's look at the list and make sure there's. So say
Okay.
okay on that, and let's look at the list and make sure we got spaces everywhere.
Uh,
Or maybe
or
copy that.
should I make it a one-liner?
No, go ahead
No.
and say okay on this, and then just copy the whole line from script parameters up above. So say okay, then double click. Yeah, now copy that, and let's paste that into the Word editor,
Okay.
just at the bottom or something, and just see if everything looks okay.
It does look okay.
Yeah, it certainly does. So try running it again. I find that
Okay.
very odd that
Okay. Uh, no, nothing. Again. Maybe if I
so caught PostgreSQL password authenticate.
let not happen.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna.
Oh,
That was it.
yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Well, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay. So there you tested your list, and the only reason I wanted to test the list was so that you could see that that one worked and how to
Yeah.
create basically, more edit configurations. And I think that if you don't like your edit configurations there, you can or your configurations, you can move those over to the right. I think.
Okay.
I don't know if you can just drag it over.
Yeah. I don't see how, but that's a minor part.
Yeah.
I can get used to it.
Oh,
There.
there's a There's a bar. No,
No.
I don't know. There is a way to configure that whole thing, right?
Yeah. Must be a way.
Because obviously on mine it's somewhere else.
Yeah, it's different. But I don't
Anyway,
mind it. I don't mind.
that's something for another day, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
so now, to go through the same steps I did, so we don't beat this thing too long and we get on to something else. Go ahead and run your update one. Verify that it sets. Go ahead and edit the or run the
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
switch to the other one, the update, and
To
then hit
this one.
run.
Yeah.
And then we'll edit that to take.
Yeah. And the IP address, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this should work, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Just hit run. Or
Ah. Ah. Script. Okay. Okay. Okay.
so now
Okay.
we just hit run. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry,
Or
you're right. It doesn't have the script path or the
yeah.
module.
Yep. Analytics main. Uh, admin tool. Source main Ruby.
Admin tool groovy. It was at
And
the top. It was at the top.
yeah. Okay. And the module. So we run it and it should work. Nope. Again. But let's execute update tenant version.
Oh, you've already made a change to your code,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, I have it right here.
Yeah, but you don't have the single tick marks, I bet.
Ah, yeah. I don't.
So
Yeah.
if you had started with the Boolean, you'd see that it was false. You would have duplicated the problem. Now then you would have gotten rid of the two bool, and then yep. So now if you run it, so just
Yes.
run and then run.
Great.
And it tells you what it updated. It says driver class name.
Yes. And it works.
Yes. So now we'll check that in. So
Yep.
we've actually, duplicated the problem, did one fix, realized it was a loser, fixed that, tested, passed test. So now we'll go back and we'll go up to our VCS. We'll check it into our branch. We'll do a pull request.
Okay.
I'll approve it.
Okay.
So we'll do all that.
Yeah.
So from IntelliJ, you
Oh.
want to
Okay. I think I remember.
actually check your code in now.
Yeah. What was the next step? I don't remember. Commit changes.
Yep. And you also
Right.
probably want to say you want to push these changes, right?
Yeah.
Commit and push.
Commit and push some files containing problems.
Well, we just have one file.
Yeah. This is the only change.
Can we
But
write? Yeah, just go ahead and commit it.
click on it
Commit?
or
No, I think commit and
commit and
push.
push.
I mean, yeah, we just want to commit.
What? Line separators?
Oh, you set fix and commit, I guess.
Yes.
And then you want to push it.
Yes.
So now is when you go to stash and create a pull request.
Yes. Okay. Source. Nope. From my branch.
And it's not always the top one in the list, but it's usually the one that you have active is the top one.
Yeah.
But you do have to kind of,
But
verify that that's,
oh, but
you have to
it's this
verify
one, right?
that's the branch you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, it's a correct branch.
To master.
Yep.
Okay. Let's
The only
explain.
time you change that is if you were going to like a hotfix branch or something, right?
Yes. Crosser. Crosser. Only crosser.
Well, let's put Ryan on there too, just for
Okay.
grits and shame.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
Okay. And we create the pull request and
Right. So now I'm going to go over and look at your pull request. Um, and I log in. You can't see what I'm doing. I see your pull request there. I look at it. I'm going to look at the diff. And basically, you've added tick marks and gotten rid of the two Boolean. I'm going to approve this. It's back to you. You can look at the pull request and then merge it.
okay. Uh,
Yeah, just click on pull request again
yeah.
because it won't show the changes until you update. So I got a ticky mark.
Okay.
You want to look at it. And then, of course,
Okay.
we could have added comments and whatever. But so now
Yeah.
you just merge it.
Yes. And I see what's going on here. And merge. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Great.
So as you're working with more members of the team, once it gets to be more than just you,
Yes.
you'll want to look at the pull request periodically, right? You should
Yeah.
get notified, but like I typically go in and look at pull when it was busier and we had a lot more going on. I'd look at those and then I'd keep up to date on reviews and comments and things in the pull request. So it's typically I like I like looking at that quite often. Obviously,
Yes.
if you're the only one in there, not as big of a deal. But anyway, um, we got that put in, and I think it looks great. Um, I went back because of that change. I went back and looked at the ad data set. Ad
Okay.
data set does it correctly. It was just the update. So if we
Yeah.
had actually added that, not if we had actually added that driver class name the first time, we would have
Okay.
never, we wouldn't have had a problem. So,
Oh,
so anyway, but we fixed it.
so we never looked at, we never realized there was a bug, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, and that reminds me. So go to your tab for the Jira,
Okay.
and now that you're done with this, let's go ahead and
Put it on done.
yeah, just drag it. Yeah,
Um, Resolution fixed.
fixed.
Fixed version
Assign
Babbage.
assign it
Assignee.
to Ryan.
Okay.
And if you had any comments, right?
Yep. A triple one. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, normally, and you already did that in the like what the problem was. So this,
Oh,
but if it was a more complex one, you might want to send notes that say this is how we tested it, or this is the way we think it needs to be tested. You could even say, um, you know, confirmed, confirmed bug, uh, you know, tested on local database or whatever.
oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't think this one needs a lot because you already documented what the problem was and how to duplicate it,
Yeah.
and plus Ryan will go in and he'll look at that change and go, oh,
Yeah.
so then you just say close and it's assigned to him, and
Okay.
so I think that's it.
Yes. And that's excellent. So
I wonder why in your view, oh, change something here. See at the very top there above Sprint 59, it says a Fangi.
Yeah, why? What the?
Because so click, ah, Agile maybe? Um, you've got the wrong view here. Oh, maybe it's board. Maybe that on the right-hand side in the upper, it says board. No, down.
Oh,
No, no, no. Go up to Agile maybe. Quick filters. Yeah, pick
analyze.
Analyze. Analyze is a better board. So this one you have quick filters, so you can show unassigned. So like click your yourself is not on this filter, but like you could click my button, Robert, and then you see only mine. You should be able to ask Ravi, or when he gets in here, to add you, so it's a quick filter. But then if you click me again, it goes away and you see everybody. So if this board gets really busy, you can click down to just yours or stuff
Oh,
like that. Like
okay.
Jerry needs to probably go away, and Nick probably needs to go away, um, and you need to be added, and
Yes.
Roberto needs to be added. But anyway, so this is where that you also see the test, in test, and done. The completed ones go into in test, and then Ryan moves them over to done. Um, so
Okay.
anyway, this view is a little better than that other view. I think
Yeah.
Jerry, which I doubt was his real name, because the Chinese guys always pick Americanized names.
Yeah, American names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
I
he
know.
picked Jerry for whatever reason. He was a funny guy. He was really funny. But he'd always go, "Hi, Lavi," when he was talking to Lavi. He'd always call him Lavi, and real exuberant, always really exuberant, and just a funny guy. And he was really good on test automation and stuff too. But
Okay.
anyway, so I think we beat this to death. So uh, why don't we um, use? We can either use inside of Jira and add a new command, or we can go back and use the command line tool
Okay.
um, in your terminal window. And
Rob,
yeah,
can we continue in 20 minutes, please?
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You need lunch? Is that where you're going?
Yeah, actually, I do. I'm
Okay.
literally starving. Okay.
Yeah. No worries.
See
So
you.
So
Yeah.
when we get back, let's and if I'm not here or something, let's go ahead and add another IG source, but pick one of those other ones.
Okay.
So what we want to do,
Another one apart from Rosen, right?
yeah, so we're going to add a new data source, which is new data source, which is a new ETL job, right? So, but it's going to have a different source system. It's still going to be IG. All that stuff's going to be roughly the same. You'll have to give it its own system name or host or whatever that name was that makes it unique, and then we'll go in and we'll look at the data in the database uh, to see
Just
what's there.
what's going
uh,
on?
yeah, and so we can see the two different systems, those kinds of things. But pick one of those other ones, and remember, it's helpful, especially when you're starting to tail the appliance log. So bring up a terminal window with the appliance log tailed, bring up a terminal window with the service log tailed, and then we'll be able to watch both of those as the ETL starts.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, that's kind of what I want to begin with. And so as soon as we kick that off, we're also going to then kick off another job. We'll once that one's running, and we look at the data, and it may take an hour or so to load that one. Um,
Okay.
then we'll if you pick a bigger one like System 18 or something, um, and then we'll go ahead and set up an LMS job and watch the same thing and
Oh,
do the
great.
same thing, and then we'll take it from there. So
Okay.
okay, see you then.
See you in 20. Or
Okay,
cherry or what?
Okay, good.
Bye. Right, thank you.